Imagine being stranded on an island where the shoreline isn't made of sand, but a thick layer of ocean debris. Our survivor finds himself in exactly this situation, surrounded by piles of discarded plastic, bamboo, and styrofoam. Instead of giving up, he's treating this environmental disaster like a giant outdoor hardware store. He's scavenging large blocks of buoyant foam and sturdy bamboo poles to construct something incredible. With his loyal dog by his side, he's about to turn this mountain of trash into a floating raft to navigate the open sea. Instead of just standing there, he gets right to work. But searching for resources in the trash isn't easy. Our man has just stepped on a protruding nail from a piece of wood that seems to have gone right through the sole of his shoe. He's scavenging bamboo poles, which are like gold in a survival situation because they are incredibly buoyant and strong. He drags these long pieces across the mud to a flatter spot, with his dog keeping a watchful eye on the progress. He reaches into his pack to grab a vital tool, a small hatchet. With it, he begins the tedious process of hammering the frame together, layering the bamboo over large foam blocks to create a stable floating platform. With the bamboo gathered, the survivor starts organizing the poles. A raft isn't just a pile of wood. It requires a stable layout to handle the ocean's unpredictable movement. But buoyancy is only half the battle. He needs a way to bind everything together. Scavenging through the trash piles, he hits the survival jackpot, a massive tangle of discarded fishing net. This high-strength, waterproof nylon is far superior to natural vines for long-term ocean use. It's the perfect material to transform these loose poles into a rigid, seaworthy platform. Now that the layout is set, the real work begins. He's using heavy-duty wire to lash the poles together. In the ocean, constant waves want to pull everything apart, so these joints must be incredibly strong. Notice how he threads the wire carefully between the poles. This prevents the bamboo from sliding side to side under pressure. His faithful dog stays close, offering some much-needed morale. By creating this rigid cross-hatched grid, he's distributing weight across the entire structure, ensuring his DIY vessel stays together when it finally hits the open sea. The survivor is now focusing on the structural integrity of his raft. He's adding cross beams and cutting them to size with a small handsaw to ensure the platform remains even and stable. Every piece of bamboo needs to be perfectly sized so it doesn't snag or create uneven weight distribution during the launch. His dog stays close, keeping watch as the base of their escape vessel grows. By meticulously measuring and sawing each pole, he's creating a reinforced deck designed to withstand unpredictable ocean currents. With the structural skeleton securely lashed together, it's time for the moment of truth. Our survivor carefully drags the massive bamboo frame toward the shoreline, a task that's surprisingly difficult across the soft, heavy sand. He needs to test the buoyancy and balance before committing to the final build. As the tide catches the raft, he steps on to feel how the frame reacts to the shifting waves. Notice how the open grid design allows water to flow through rather than against it, significantly reducing drag while he makes final adjustments. Our survivor knows that while bamboo has some natural buoyancy, a fully loaded raft needs massive lift to stay stable in open currents. He turns his attention to the shoreline, scavenging for large pieces of discarded foam. To the untrained eye, it's just pollution, but to him, these are high-buoyancy pontoons. He carefully drags each block into the surf, wedging them firmly beneath the bamboo framework. By trapping the foam under the grid, he's creating a pressurized lift system that will keep the entire deck high above the waterline. Foam is about 95% air, making it an incredible tool for displacement. He carefully fits each block into the grid, ensuring they're trapped by the crossbeams so they don't pop out when the waves get rough. With the foam secure, the raft finally sits high in the water, and it's time for a test ride with his faithful companion. Now comes the most critical part of the engineering, securing those buoyancy blocks so they don't drift away when the waves hit. Our survivor uses salvaged wire to lash each massive foam block directly to the bamboo crossbeams. It's a tedious process, but one loose block could cause the entire raft to tilt dangerously in open water. Even his dog is getting in on the action, testing the stability of the platform as the tide rolls in. By distributing the weight evenly across these points, he's creating a level, floating foundation. With the buoyancy blocks in place, our survivor focuses on the structural skeleton of the raft. Think of this bamboo lattice as the chassis of a vehicle. It needs to be incredibly rigid to handle the constant torsion and twisting of ocean waves. He's using high-tensile wire salvaged from the beach debris to lash the bamboo together with meticulous care. With the mainframe and buoyancy blocks secured, he moves on to creating a stable deck. By laying these long bamboo poles parallel to each other across the crossbeams, he's creating a distributed load surface. Notice how he tests the stability by sitting and even lying down on the platform with his dog. It's not just about floating, it's about having a safe space to live while at sea. Finally, he begins the painstaking process of lashing every single pole into place using salvaged wire, ensuring the deck doesn't shift when things get rough. With the basic deck laid out, he's now focusing on the finer mechanical details that turn a pile of sticks into a seaworthy vessel. He's using a series of clove hitches and square lashings to lock every pole into place. But here's the clever part. Notice how he's trimming the excess bamboo ends? This isn't just for aesthetics. It reduces unnecessary weight and drag once they're afloat. He even carves out precision notches in the main support beams, creating a mortise and tenon style joint that adds incredible structural rigidity against those rolling ocean waves. Now that the deck is solid, our survivor starts building upward. He's installing vertical bamboo uprights, which will serve as the skeleton for a much-needed shelter. Watch closely as he notches the tops of these poles with a handsaw and hammer. This saddle joint technique is crucial because it provides a secure seat for the horizontal crossbeams. In a high seas environment, simple ties aren't enough. These mechanical locks prevent the frame from shifting as the raft flexes over waves, keeping his future roof and gear securely in place. To protect against the elements, our survivor focuses on the roof's structural geometry. He's building triangular trusses, a classic engineering choice since triangles are incredibly rigid and won't deform under pressure. He meticulously lashes each joint with wire, ensuring the skeleton can withstand unpredictable ocean winds. While a hawk circles overhead, his dog alerts him to a strange splash of color among the island's gray debris. He discovers a discarded Spider-Man balloon, a stark reminder of the plastic pollution. This high-visibility plastic is the perfect material to cover his triangular roof trusses, providing much-needed shade and protection from the salt spray and harsh tropical sun. With the tarp ready for the raft's roof, the survivor shifts his focus to the most immediate threat, dehydration. Surrounded by endless salt water, he needs a fresh source fast. He scours the piles of bamboo and plastic until he finds a few stray coconuts, nature's perfect sealed water bottles. Using a heavy stone as a makeshift hammer, he carefully breaches the hard shell to reveal the nutrient-rich water within. It's a critical discovery that provides both him and his dog with the energy needed to continue their ambitious escape. Our survivor and his furry companion take a moment to rehydrate with nature's perfect electrolyte drink before getting back to work. With his energy restored, he retrieves the massive yellow tarp he scavenged from the debris. This recycled plastic skin is the final piece of the puzzle for his raft's superstructure. Moving to the shoreline, he carefully drapes the tarp over the bamboo frame, securing it to create a reliable shelter. This crucial layer will provide protection from the relentless sun and sudden tropical downpours during their voyage. With the base finished, he's already spotting his next meal half buried in the sand. A raft isn't much good if your supplies and your dog slide off the moment you hit a swell. He's scavenging thicker weathered planks from the shoreline debris, using his axe to trim them down to size. By nailing these boards along the bamboo frame, he's creating a sturdy perimeter that adds both structural rigidity and a much-needed sense of security. It's a rhythmic process of measure, chop, and hammer, turning a pile of trash into a legitimate vessel. Building a raft is incredibly taxing work, so our survivor heads out to the tidal flats to scavenge for high-density protein. These shallow pools left behind by the receding tide are essentially natural grocery stores, but you have to be quick and observant. He spots movement near an oyster-encrusted rock and uses a bamboo pole for balance while navigating the sharp, slippery terrain. By carefully reaching into the murky water, he manages to snag a massive mud crab. Foraging like this is vital, providing the energy needed to finish the raft. But those powerful claws are no joke. Watch how he strategically pins it down with his boot. This is a vital survival move to keep his fingers safe, while he expertly secures it with some salvaged string. With the main course caught, he shifts his focus to the muddy depressions nearby. He's looking for specific disturbances in the sand, and his keen eye pays off. He digs up a large shellfish, another essential source of protein for his journey. Every calorie counts when you're preparing for a voyage. Back at the bamboo raft, his loyal companion is ready to inspect the catch, but first, the kitchen needs an upgrade. He's carefully arranging heavy stones on the deck to create a makeshift hearth. This provides a crucial thermal barrier. Without it, a cooking fire would char the bamboo and compromise the entire structure. To cook his catch without turning his raft into a bonfire, our survivor builds a specialized hearth using heavy stones to insulate the bamboo deck. This creates a critical thermal barrier between the open flames and the flammable structure. He gets a fire going with some dry tinder and quickly gets to work. The smaller clams go into the pot to boil, while that massive crab is placed directly over the heat to roast in its shell. As the sun sets, his floating home transforms into a cozy, albeit smoky, kitchen. As night falls over the ocean, our survivor finally gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor. That specialized stone hearth is doing its job perfectly, keeping the intense heat away from the bamboo while steaming up a gourmet seafood feast. He's got that massive crab and those clams we saw earlier, which provide a critical boost of protein and electrolytes needed to stay sharp. It's a surreal scene, fine dining under the stars on a floating island of trash. Even his dog gets in on the action, proving that even in the most desperate situations, a hot meal can make all the difference. As the sun rises over the horizon, the survivor and his dog wake up to a new day of ocean travel. While the raft provides safety and a place to sleep, it's currently at the mercy of the currents. To gain some control, he begins crafting a critical piece of equipment, a makeshift oar. Using a long bamboo pole and a scrap of salvaged wood, he saws a flat blade and nails it firmly into place. This simple mechanical advantage allows him to push against the water, giving him the power to steer his trash raft toward safety rather than just drifting aimlessly. As the shoreline finally comes into view, the sheer scale of this achievement is mind-blowing. Our survivor and his pup have crossed miles of open ocean on a raft, engineered entirely from salvaged materials. Notice how the bamboo frame distributes weight, while those plastic containers provide the displacement needed for buoyancy. They've reached the sanctuary of the mangroves, leaving the trash-filled island far behind. It's a powerful reminder that with a bit of scientific thinking, the very things we throw away can become a literal lifeline. Thanks for watching the video, and subscribe to Human Frontier to see more videos and amazing creations by human beings.